How you doing today? I'm finna complete the series of part of the conclusion to Boyfriend 3. I found out I was pregnant. I go home and I tell SpongeBob. SpongeBob is not happy at all. He really didn't have an expression on his face, but I don't know if he was surprised or what. But, because we had been trying to get pregnant, and when we was trying, it never did work out. So eventually I ended up pregnant. After then, things just really started spiraling out of control. He started with the domestic violence, saying that the baby wasn't healed. During the time that I found out that I was pregnant and I told him, I guess he started messing around out in the street. Well, usually he would come straight home afterward. It changed very quickly. He started staying out with his friends, riding to work with his friends, where I would take him to work and pick him up. He didn't want me to do that anymore. Left, and he just started hanging around certain people, doing certain things, talking to certain people, being disrespectful, talking to me any kind of way, and just being rude. I said, I ain't gonna stress myself out in there like that because I had a high risk pregnancy. So I was on bed rest the whole time. I had to make a decision to leave my job or take a risk on walking on concrete all night and losing my time. Of course, you know what choice I made with that. Cook food for him to take I knew that he didn't need nothing really because I did everything. I cooked dinner, fixed his plate, I made sure he had plenty to eat at work, or whatever he wanted. I would go to the store, buy it, he would take it to work, and that's how it worked. After he got where he would want to hang out with friends and stay out part of the morning, he was on night shift, and he would get off like at 3. He would come home until like 4 or 5 o'clock. Sometimes he would come home at 6 or 7. So I had got where I wouldn't say nothing because I didn't want to take that risk. So I'm just going to wait till I have my baby. It got to where if I said something about what he was doing or how he was doing it, he would get angry. And if I was in there taking a bath in the shower, he would come in there and start stuff and push me all down in the tub. And sometimes he would come in there and I'd be getting out the tub and he'll push me out on the toilet, downside the toilet, kicking me and hitting me in my stomach and just being rambunctious. I just got fed up. Me and Bob, we will always be together for a while, and then we would not be together for a while. During the times that me and SpongeBob were going through this, me and Bob was eventually, every once in a while, get together. After all the turmoil that he created, after he seen that I wasn't going to feed into it, tried all the alternatives that he could, it didn't work. I'm going on and, you know, through my pregnancy and all this mess is going on. So during all this, when all this mess is going on, I was going to a concert somewhere. You know, I said to myself that I'm going to stop by this National Guard Army and see is SpongeBob there. Usually he are, so. I said, well, I'm just going to drop in, you know. By now, I'm what, 3-4 months pregnant. Remember, Bob ain't seen me in a while. So now, I goes in the front of the building, and I didn't see nobody at the first office. So I walked on down to the second office, and it was a guy there. I don't know his rank. I don't know his name. I don't know. He was just sitting at the desk. And I asked him, was Bob there? And so happened that day, Bob was there. So he called Bob out. So then me and Bob walked to another area where one of the tanks were. So we walked to the right side of the tank, I guess, where nobody can see us or whatever. So we gets there, and I noticed he wouldn't say nothing. Usually he'd give me a kiss or something, He wouldn't say nothing. He was just standing there looking at me. You know, he always grin or smile or smirk or whatever, but he didn't do that day. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if I said something, he said something, but I don't know. We might not have said nothing. I don't know. But anyway, I don't remember if we did. But anyway, I didn't get no kiss, no conversation, or nothing that day. So whatever was going on in between us, you know. So I ended up leaving and going on to my concert. I got to my concert, you know, I'm enjoying myself, you know, enjoyed the concert, my favorite. I get back home, in which I dreaded to do, because I knew SpongeBob was going to be there and it was going to be some mess. And I didn't want, okay, I'm just going to go in. And plus I was tired. I had been walking and sitting all night. I was going to come in, take my bath, and just go to bed. I was just tired. My body was tired. I said, I'm not going to do this. It got to a point where I just wouldn't say nothing about nothing he did. And he was looking at, I'm talking about SpongeBob now. SpongeBob would just look at me certain days like, she ain't going to say nothing. She ain't going to argue with me. She ain't going to complain. I stopped doing it. Remember, my child's health is at risk. And my child, so I can't take that and plus mine. And because when I got in my third trimester, I started, you know, taking a bath just in case anything happened because it was high risk. Okay. That particular night, SpongeBob had went to work. I was fine, watching TV, had cooked dinner, I had did everything I was supposed to do. So that night, I had took me a bath about 9:30. And around 10:30, I kept having to go to the bathroom because I thought that I was, you know, peeing, because you know when you're pregnant you have to pee a lot. So I just thought maybe that what was going on. So, and my pee would come out clear, and it would just seep out. It wouldn't just pee out like I usually do. It would just seep out when I go to the bathroom. You could hear it dropping in the toilet. After I did that multiple times, you know, I was like, something's wrong. Something's not right. So I called my sister, and I was like, hey, I took me a bath, but I keep going to the bathroom, and it's not regular pee. It just like comes out like in drops. And she was like, girl, your water breaking. I said, my water breaking? I said, water breaking? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, well, you need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and the doctor came in, and the doctor checked me. And she said, you need to go to the hospital where my daughter was delivered at. She said my water was my water was breaking. And so, okay, I'm like, well, I got enough time to go by work and let him know, hey, this is what's going on. Because he always say that I don't tell him stuff, in which I do, but for some reason he don't never remember anything I say. So I goes there. I don't see any cars out there. Well, it was a few out there, but it wasn't like workers, you know, like it used to be full. And I went to the guard station, and I asked the guard, I said, well, do you all have anybody working here tonight? And he said, no, everybody's gone home. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, I'm pregnant and my water, you know, is breaking, and I'm about to go have my child, and I'm looking for SpongeBob. He said, well, ma'am, I'm sorry, nobody's here. He said, everybody left for the night. So I'm like, okay. So I ain't had time to worry about that. Boom. I got to the hospital at the location, and they checked me and everything. And I noticed they started taking me to up there on the floor where you have the baby's head. So she said that after checking me, the doctor said that she was going to have to admit me because my water was breaking. And I haven't dilated yet. Throughout my whole pregnancy, I dilated 1 centimeter, whatever it is. So basically, they had to break my water. And when they broke my water, she still didn't want to come. So that's when I got that, what you call it? That medicine. You know, that medicine that they give you in your back, you know, when you get ready to have a baby. And I told her I wanted that. And so she gave me that. And I told her, I said, after they broke my water, then I started getting cramps and stuff and you know, feeling bad. And so she told me, she said, well, I'm finna put the baby on a heart monitor thing. And she said that, and she said, I'm gonna put some more equipment on you. But she said, it's just to hear the baby heartbeat and all that. And plus to keep, you know, keep check on mine. So I'm like, okay, so while they hooking all that up, I'm, you know, instead of having, you know, labor pains. Now, at first, I said I was going to do it natural, but the pain got too much. So she came and gave me some medicine, and I guess I had all my labor while I was sedated or whatever. So next thing I know, a doctor came in there, and she had checked there, and she said, I feel her feet. And I'm like, okay. And she said that we're going to have to turn her around. So she reached in there and she turned her around. So, you know, she left back out. They were just waiting for me to dilate the whole, I guess, 10 centimeters or whatever. And so finally, she came in there and she said that her feet, it has turned back around. So she had to go back up in there and twist her back around again so her head will come out. So during all this, I'm feeling all this. And every time she would turn her around in the correct position, she would turn back around with her feet. So the last time they came in there, they saw that I had, I guess, dilated enough to where they can turn her around and position her where she can come out. Because she would always go turn back in the breech position. But when they turn her around this time, you know, they kind of, they didn't hold her there, but they made sure that she stayed in that position because it was time for me to have her. So she said, I want you to push. She told me to push like a couple times. And her head came out, but she would always, you know, try to go back in. And so once the head came out, they grabbed her and just wiggled her out. Now I'm feeling all this. So, you know, and I didn't know what happened because all I know, I was hurting. I felt ripping a little bit. So that with that, so I had her. So no SpongeBob throughout this, no, all night long, part of the next day, no SpongeBob. So a couple days later, he comes to the hospital. It's time for me to get out the hospital now. You want to come up there, you want to sign birth certificate, you want to name her, you want to do this, you want to do that, but you can be there for the birth. But he swear up and down that I did not go to his job and ask for him that particular night. And I did. And he wasn't there. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.